Salida, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jim and welcome to the end of the year roundup of Sounds German. Just like last year, I want to take a few minutes and look back on 2018 and give you my 5 best and worst albums of this year. Of course, I can only review what I listen to. Even with my tight location-based focus, I simply can't listen to every release. But it was certainly not a bad year for music, and before we get into the list, I want to shout out a few honorable mentions who just didn't quite make the list, but still were good releases in their own right. And as you might notice, 2018 was a pretty good year for metal. So, the first shoutout goes to the Stillstand und Heimkehr EP by German post-black metal band Ice. 2 tracks, 21 minutes of playtime and ice-cold atmosphere, brutal riffs and drumming, and lyrics that feel almost intimate at times. Really like that one. Then there is Heruna with Vanitas Vanitatum. Another strong addition to their discography. Didn't like it as much as their prior release Niederkunft, but Heruna managed to release another very dark and bleak album here. And last but not least, Manta with the modern art of setting a blaze. Another impressive demonstration that a band can deliver hard and thick walls of sound with even just 2 people in it. So, now that we got that done, let's get into the best and the worst albums of the year 2018. 5th best album of 2018, Feuerschwanz with Methammer. I honestly never thought I'd list a Feuerschwanz album in a top anything list, but Methammer turned out to be simply incredibly dumb fun. Sure, you can rightfully argue that the album has not really many intelligent things to say or that it doesn't advance the genre in any way, and all that would be fair. Methammer, for the very most part, is not an album that makes you think and ponder questions of existence and life. It's a hell of a medieval rock party though, with lots of booze, a good mood and lively atmosphere. And overall, it's simply an incredibly fun romp. 5th worst album of 2018, Mono Inc. with Welcome to Hell. Some say being boring is the worst offense a piece of art can do. If that is true, then Mono Inc. must be sentenced to life for Welcome to Hell. This album was not really bad per se, but it was boring as sin, filled to the brim with tired cliches and stereotypes of dark rock. Considering the sheer quantity of their output, it's probably not too much of a surprise that Mono Inc. doesn't deliver stellar, outstanding albums. The result here was simply underwhelming in every aspect. An album with barely an original bone in its body, and what was there was neither exciting nor interesting. 4th best album of 2018, The Intersphere with The Grand Delusion. This right here, this is the reason why I wait with my album of the year lists to the end of the year. A late release in 2018 from a band I didn't know before, The Grand Delusion is a fantastic little journey of an alternative rock album. The Intersphere delivered something I found myself really enjoying and being really beautiful here. These shoegazy interjections between hard rock moments, how they manage to mix a sort of pushy and lively atmosphere with moments of almost pure melancholy, it was just something absolutely beautiful. 4th worst album of 2018, Neo Unleashed with Prestige. Remembering Neo from his battle rap days, he delivered some songs years ago I still like to listen to on occasion. His first full-length player meanwhile bores you with old gangster and tough guy cliches that were used a decade ago already. Prestige is not a shit album, but for the most part it lacks any innovation or even things that make it simply interesting to listen to. And Neo's alright flow and outstandingly deep vocals can't help over the fact that he apparently couldn't decide on an image to pick here, making him jump from tough street gangster to tortured artist and back again, resulting in an album where he does neither one well. 3rd best album of 2018, Agrypnie with Grenzgänger. Okay, Some might have seen that one coming, but Grenzgänger is Agrypni's strongest album so far in my opinion, and they had some pretty strong entries before. It feels Thorsten has found his exact style and niche with the prior release and now went and refined that formula to perfection. You get these very dark and sometimes even brutal soundscapes, lyrics that feel personal once again, and just all the pieces fell together just right on this one. If you knew Agrypni before, this album will probably not really surprise you with stylistic changes or anything like that, but rather with how refined Agrypni sounds here. Third worst album of 2018, Stoneman with Geil und Elektrisch. Through my work on this channel, I learned of many new artists that I turned out to really like. Stoneman are not among them. Lyrics that are juvenile at best or that could be seen like attacks on what is probably large parts of their audience at worst, paired with an utterly generic Neue Deutsche Härte soundscape that lacks any innovation as much as it lacks any bite, all that made Geil und Elektrisch hard to listen to. This thing was bordering on torture for me. The only good thing I can say in retrospective about this album is that it had the decency to be over after 40 minutes. Second best album of 2018, Wire with Weltformel. While the intro left me lukewarm, Weltformel won me over pretty fast after that. This is a post-metal album chock full of ideas and details. It refuses to stagnate almost violently over its almost 50 minutes of playtime, and it never outstays its welcome either. Pretty much everything on here feels like it had the perfect length, like every idea had exactly the time it needed to spread its wings before the band moved on to the next thing. Weltformel was simply an amazing journey, and I was thinking about putting it on number 1 right before recording this video. That's how much I liked this one. It was simply fascinating. Second worst album of 2018, various artists, Falco, Sterben zu leben. I really wanted to like this. I still think the concept behind it is cool. Various rap artists basically remaking and reimagining Falco tracks. It could have given the Falco songs a really fresh and modern feeling. But a few exceptions aside, these covers, if you can even call them that, were pretty fucking trash. San Diego should get a public whipping for what he did to Rock Me Amadeus, and while we are at it, lock up Alias for murdering Genie again. This thing could have been fantastic. It could have been a worthy homage to what is widely considered the granddaddy of German rap as we know it today. But instead it feels like a bunch of people gathered around Falco's grave and just took a hard, long shit on it. And the best album of 2018, Danger Dan with Reflexion aus dem beschönigten Leben. Given that my best album last year was by the Antilopengang, it might not come as too much of a surprise to see Danger Dan here this year, him being a member of the Antilopengang. His solo output hits many of the same notes with introspective, serious lyrics that take a hard focus on him and his past decisions. A well-done collection of beats underlines lyrics that feel like he is making himself a bit naked in front of his audience. And the same way Antilopengang impressed me last year, Danger Dan managed to do so this year, and in the end it was the album I fell in love with the most in 2018. And I do hope that this sort of rap will push the ever so prominent gangster rap from its throne of success in Germany. Not that I can't enjoy it if it's well done, but if I'd have to pick one or the other, I would give albums like Reflexion aus dem beschönigten Leben the priority any day of the week. But for the yin there is the yang, so let's get to the worst album of 2018, the stinker of the year, Saltatio Mortis with Brot und Spiele. Oh, Saltatio Mortis. I honestly wanted to give them another chance after Circus Zeitgeist, an album I honestly completely despise. Instead, they decided to just double down. The medieval elements that made them stand out are basically gone, and exciting fables were switched out with dumb, politically loaded platitudes, while nothing, absolutely nothing of value is ever being said in their new tracks. The fact that you could buy a more expensive version with a second disc, which basically contained the kind of music that made them big and longtime fans asked for, only feels like them spitting into their fans' faces. And it wouldn't be the first time for them to do that. After these last two albums, I am certain that Saltatio Mortis lack the capacities to tackle complex social and political issues, and for that reason alone they should refrain from doing so. To be honest, I feel that for the business model they have demonstrated here, they should be spat on in the streets. Somewhere this band went horribly wrong, and the result is only disgusting and sad at this point. Utterly, completely disgusting and sad. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like for the video or just subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know your opinion on this matter in the comment section. You can also find my social media accounts linked in the description below if you want to check out some random music. I do post at least one music video per day there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Have a nice day. Salida.